So I thank you for being here and thank you for the opportunity. I can understand there is a lot of traffic and great weather. Feels like I am based out of Bangalore, so feels like I'm at home. So thanks for having me here and congratulations all the sponsors, partners that I can see here. And while I'm presenting to you all, I am also presenting to all our partners and sponsors here because I see most of them are already Apple customers. So thank you so much. And those who are not yet on our side, please do listen to what I'm going to tell. And we are very soon want you also to be on our side. So I'm representing here our partner Datalogics. The management team is here. They've been a partner for more than 25 years. So I'll keep it very simple. I'll keep it very meaningful for you to understand as much as what Apple does. And I hope this 19 minutes that I have, I'll make it meaningful for you. Cool. So how many of you are Apple product users, iPhone, Mac at personal level? Cool. Thank you. Thank you so much for being our customers. Now, how many of you use Macs or iPhones at scale at work? Not like some leaders want it, so but at a regular, like more than few users. So, okay, cool. Great, thank you. Now, the key difference is, as a consumer, you like flashy products, like a new color, pink, iPhone 16, or a blue color, or a green color, better screen. So you all love it, and as a consumer, your spouse, your kids, and you go for it. But the same leader, when it comes to work, those things don't work. You don't buy flashy things as a business leader. What business leaders do is you buy solutions for your problems. You want solutions that can help your organizations grow and do better in the priorities that you have. And that's exactly what me, my team, and my partners like Datalogics do. We work with people like you and your organizations to see what are your problems and how can Apple platforms and technologies can help you achieve that. Right? We are not the flashy side of Apple business. We are these solutions that we solve things for your organization. And I've been watching the topic since yesterday, in and out, like all the CIO leaders, very much floating. And I just heard Mr. Purushottam talk amazingly about one thing that has been commonly discussed is various technologies about artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud. And I'm a strong believer in these things. And I'm an equally strong believer that India Inc., the leaders, will be driving this for not just for India, but for world. Now the great things is, now these are all amazing technologies. They're very powerful. They're going to help you businesses a lot. But what really matters is, how is it going to be delivered? At the end of the day, you need these technologies to be integrated deeper into your processes, into your businesses, and you should remove the friction out of these technologies when you deliver into your business. And you need a good human touch. Because you may bring the awesome technologies, but how does the adoption matter is going to deliver the business results. And that's where Apple comes into picture. If you see the statement from our CEO, Tim Cook, that he recently made, we now seeing AI and machine learning as a fundamental to every Apple product that we are shipping. So I thought, while I can speak a lot about Apple technologies, how it will help your organizations, I thought I'll spend on that one topic which we have been discussing a lot, so it will be relevant for you all, right? Which is the artificial intelligence, and we call it Apple intelligence, right? So for your organization, when you talk about Apple products helping on AI journey that you have, generative AI that we keep talking a lot, there are largely 3 points I want you to take away from this session, right? One is the amazing powerful devices that we make right from Silicon up, that will help you run any of the AI that you are planning to run on your organization. Everyone, including Microsoft, Satya strongly has presented that the going ahead is going to be hybrid. You will be running a lot of AI on your end compute, where it will help you a lot in terms of latency, data costs, security, privacy, or some of them would be on hybrid. And that's where you will need a lot of powerful devices to run your AI workloads in your organization. And the second is the all-powerful Apple Intelligence. We have launched it sometime back in US and other markets. We just announced in our earnings call that April, we'll be launching it in India too. So all those guys who have Apple devices running for you, so Apple Intelligence is coming to your devices in April. It's free, it's powerful. And the third is the whole ability to create AI and machine learning applications in your organization. How easy it is, I'll just spend a couple of minutes on that. And it's again free of cost. You don't need to spend millions of rupees again. You already purchased the Apple device. You can create that workflows with a very light work and start using it today. Right? Starting with the hardware. Now, Apple launched iPhone 10 in 2017. And we launched something called Bionic. I don't know how many of you remember the word Bionic when we launched our A11 Bionic chip. And that Bionic meant that it has a NPU, neural processing unit, in addition to the CPU and GPU we always has carrying, right? Now that we got it into the devices for our own Face ID technology that we wanted to do. It's a machine learning technology. And close to around 2020, when we started moving Apple Silicon into Macs, is when we launched our first M1, has got a NPU in it. Now, after 4 years is where now you see the whole industry moving in the direction, saying that now we will add a NPU into the whole silicon and make it an AI PC for you. So Apple has been 4 years ahead in the journey in terms of bringing the NPU to you. So since 2020, every Mac that you have purchased with Apple Silicon that has this NPU to help you drive your AI workflows. Now, recently we launched M4. M4 is the second generation 3 nanometer chip, which is again industry first. Nobody else is very close to that. And it can deliver 38 trillion operations per second. Now, these things are very critical. Whoever is investing in AI, working on AI for your organization, this processing power is going to drive or make a difference what you're going to do for your organization. So the key point that I would like you to consider is every Mac that is being shipped with Apple Silicon since 2020, some of you are already working on, some of you purchase in your organizations, is already an AI PC. You need to wait for next March or April to something coming up. So they are AI PC. Now, this is hardware set, but coming to Mac OS, like we have Sequoia Mac OS now, we already have Core ML integrated. Now, all the heavy lifting is done by Apple. Like these are some of the frameworks that is already provided in the Mac OS, like vision framework, speech framework, natural language. What your organizations or your developers need to do is just write a couple of lines of code and leverage this heavy framework. And this is all on the device. You don't need to connect to internet. You don't need to get into security issues. Today, you can develop something for your device. You don't need to pay anything extra for it. Just leverage the framework that is already created in the Apple ecosystem. Even like if you want to create some custom models, create ML models, right? You just need to write a couple of lines of code. You want to do something on your procurement side, something on your sales side. These things are readily available for you, whether it is on Mac or iPad or iPhone. And it also works beautifully with some of the large third-party machine learning programs, whether it is TensorFlow or PyTorch that you're developing, well optimized, well integrated. And one of the key things that always you all have in mind is, what about LLMs? The big thing, right? Can they work? It has to be run on a heavy stack of externally. We need to go send tokens. I think a couple of weeks back, I think the whole world looked around China and realized that they don't need to be really huge. They can be really efficient. And that's something that Apple has been telling for a very long time. And I think more and more as we go into the future, the LLMs are going to be further optimized. And even today, you can run a LLM on a Mac without connecting to internet. And imagine the kind of efficiency gains you will achieve, latency gains, and also the battery efficiency or the data cost, or the most important thing is data privacy. You don't want to send your core critical data to the somewhere in the cloud and try to keep sending and running those tokens. Now, how does Apple do that? Like, what kind of difference, how can we deliver differently? Because in our Apple Silicon architecture, we have something called unified memory. What unified memory does is, it shares the memory between CPU, GPU, and NPU dynamically, and it's all integrated on the single chip. Now, when a LLM of 8 GB or something is being driven compared to other platforms, now dynamically the memory is being shared between that and it's able to run it. You can't do that in any other architecture. And the most important thing when you run all these AI is, if you talk about the whole NVIDIA chips or GPUs that you make, they make a lot of noise and heat, and battery is very critical. Now, you are running AI on your devices, but if the battery goes off in a couple of hours, what's the whole point? Because Apple makes both silicon, hardware, software, everything together, like today, most of the organizations that adopt MacBooks at scale, when I go to them and ask them, why are you buying? I go to the end customers and check with them, and the number one reason I hear is the battery. There are many organizations, many users stop bringing adapter to their offices because Mac almost running for 2 days for them, 2 days of work. And that's all comes from the whole hardware engineering. And when it becomes even more relevant and important once you start using more AI workflows, because they are going to consume a lot of your power. And if it is not optimized well, if you have somebody is writing a OS, somebody is making a hardware, somebody is using an application, and then your battery life is not optimized for it. So battery life is going to be very critical as we're going to run a lot of AIs. And in terms of compatibility, like this is a screenshot you see of Copilot. I'm sure these days for many organizations, have you done AI? Yes, we have Copilot in our organization. So Copilot works amazingly well, Microsoft 365 on a Mac. And if you have those, they should definitely work. So the key point I would like you to consider, share with your friends when you go back to your organization is, if you are thinking about AI, there is no other better device than Mac or Apple products like iPhone and iPad for driving those efficiency into your organization. And it's not just for AI, for business too. And this has been true for many years now, because I was telling, we make both hardware and software together. It's highly integrated. The hardware that we designed knows how to make the full optimization of software. Like if you open the Face ID, it works like magic. If you've been using Apple products, Touch ID, or some of the efficiency, battery life, so that's because we are the only organization in the world who do silicon, hardware, software, applications, all integrated. The same teams sit in the room and work together to ensure there is an amazing user experience when the user or employee uses it. And the other important thing as IT leaders would be, okay, how do I deploy them? So whether you are deploying 10 Macs or 10,000 Macs, it takes the same amount of effort. We have a revolutionary product called Zero Touch Deployment, Apple Business Manager. It saves you a lot of money, it saves you a lot of effort, and it's super efficient. Our partners, Datalogics, is really good at helping you achieve that. So for IT, it's going to be huge, better experience of managing and deploying at scale. And compatibility is something that you always have in mind about, okay, can this application work on Mac? Does Excel run on Mac? Or can Microsoft 360 products run on, can I run Teams calls on the Mac? I think there are a lot of myths, and I think if you look at last few years, I think in fact, some of the products work better on Mac than any other platform. So that's something that we can definitely assure you and work with your organizations to kind of solve that in your organization. And the biggest elephant in the room is, okay, all this is great, we love Macs, but what about cost? They are very costly, we don't have the budgets. And that's where I think it has been proven beyond a point that Macs are actually cheaper than any other devices, including Windows PCs. The only thing is, how do you look at it? If you look at the total cost of ownership or the impact that it creates in an organization, Macs have very high residual value. Even after using for a Mac for 3 to 4 years, you get back 25 to 30% of the value, and we have ways to get it for you in terms of proposals, black and white. That alone makes the Mac cheaper than a Windows device. But there are other benefits, like you don't need to have additional softwares, encryption software, security softwares that all come in built, And the most important, which is often overlooked, is the number of support tickets, number of people you need to manage for that. Like I'll give you one example. This is the IBM study which they have done in their organization. After deploying Macs at scale, they realized that only 5% of Mac users ever come for a support ticket versus a 40% on a Windows. This is again actual data from their organization. And this means there is reduction of cost, reduction of time wastage, productivity for employees. And this is again a data that IBM has published where they actually save anywhere from $273 to $543 for every Mac that is deployed at scale. And it's not IBM alone. There are a lot of organizations who have realized that. So if it cost is a matter, we can definitely work with you in terms of ensuring that you are able to achieve that with the same budgets that you have. And that's something that Datalogix, our partner here, can definitely help you achieve that. And the biggest other thing is the security. I'm sure all of you are very fresh in your minds about what happened in the last few months, about some of the huge blockages globally happened. And most organizations who have impacted, the Mac users didn't need to stop working, right? And that's the reason, because Mac security is built up, right? And there is no additional add-ons. There is no exposure to the core OS that is getting impacted by third party. So in fact, most organizations today, to ensure that their business operations are not at risk, are opting for Mac and ensuring that they're working on it. So in fact, Forrester, when they went across the world talking to multiple organizations, this is the feedback they got. Like when they did the survey of multiple organizations, there's 90% reduction in the security incidents, and there is a unanimous response about Mac being a better secure platform. So Want Group in China, they have completely moved from Windows to Mac. Last year, they deployed 10,000 Macs for all their users. And while they saw a huge saving in number of tickets falling down, saving in the cost, and one of the key things is in terms of security, there's a 95% reduction in the security incidents and increase in deployment. So that's very critical. Those of you who are thinking about security for your organizations, Mac can be a great leverage. Now, it's not just global China. I've been giving you a lot of examples. I just want to come to our country in terms of India. In India, we do have a lot of what we have globally to deliver your organization. Whether you are evaluating Apple platforms for your organization, we have something called Apple Professional Services, which will help you to kind of solve the unknown. We do understand that you have been we are working in particular way for last 3-4 decades. You may have you or your teams may want to know how to do it the right way. So we have our partners like Datalogix and our Apple Professional Services to kind of help you do the readiness review and understand, give you the way forward, how to go about it. And Apple Financial Services helps you with the lowest financial cost, or even including the residual value. So today you might be paying X for your other end compute. At the same price, you can move to Mac, because we kind of take the benefit of residual value. And once you deploy, you need support. We have something called Apple Care for Enterprise in India already available. It's really helping our organizations to have peace of mind at night to deliver the experience. We have next business day support. Your employees can directly call them 24/7, 2 a.m. in the night. They have some presentation for tomorrow. Something goes wrong, they can just directly call 24/7. There's something traveling across the countries, they can take support and they don't need to disturb you. So Apple Care for Enterprise helps you to achieve that. And then trainings, because for your own teams or for the users who have moved from Windows to Mac. So coming to the home, we have Zoho in Chennai. Zoho has close to 75% of the users using Mac and 85% of the employees using iPhone. Zoho leadership thinks that the products that you use influence the products that you create, and that's why they use Macs. Datalogix here in the room has been working with Zoho for since the inception, helping them achieve this through deployment of Macs and iPhones. In fact, Zoho themselves in India have seen 50% reduction in the tickets compared to Mac versus Windows, because they have both platforms in their system. This is the data coming from them. And I have huge respect for this man. I'm sure all of you have. This is the comment from the man himself, Sridhar Vembu, where he is saying that India, a lot of transformation can happen with rural areas coming to the foray, and they leverage Apple to achieve in that goal. It's not just Zoho. We have a large bank here in Mumbai, BFSI Mumbai. In fact, they called us 1 year back saying that we want to remove whatever 50, 60 Macs we have because it is not helping us meet our RBI guidelines. Macs are not compatible in BFSI. It may work in tech like Zoho or other IBM or somewhere, but it doesn't work in our industry. So within 6 weeks, we actually showed them that Macs are more compliant. And now from 50 Macs, today they have 4,000 Macs in just 1 year. And they are planning to go for 20,000 more Macs across. And it's India's second largest private bank that we have in BKC, right? So it's no more that whole myth about Mac is only for technology. We have steel industry, we have telecom industry, everyone leveraging Mac. The last, I'm seeing my time, I have last 1 minute. So the last point I want to cover is sustainability. I'm sure all your organizations are thinking about sustainability, very important for us, for our next generation, for our kids, for the planet. MacBooks are 1/3 carbon footprint of any of the devices because we use 100% recycled aluminum. All our battery consumption is half of exactly what other devices use. So organizations who want to achieve sustainability goals, just by moving to Mac, you can achieve most of your sustainability goals because you can take the benefits of using the devices. So I have a video which is very personally favorite for me. I just want to leave the stage with that video running so that you all work together with us to make the planet a better place for your next generation.
Hello, Idan. What a beautiful name. It means magic. You don't know us. You won't understand what we're about to say, but one day, Idan, you will. Because we want to make you a promise. We want to be held to it. And every year for years to come, we'll remain committed to it. A promise between you and us and the planet. We promise that everything we make, the way we make it, and even how you use it, will be carbon neutral by your 10th birthday. That might not sound like much to you, Idan, but believe us, it's not a promise that's easy to keep. But it's one we intend to. Promise.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and we really would like to have you join us in this promise that we want to achieve and make your organizations amazing, let you great results. Thank you.